Hi, Neil from EA Media. One of the things I love about security is all the terms that we always come up with. And one of those terms that I'd like to talk to you about is a really useful implementation for security. And that's the Honeypot. By the way, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. That way you can help the EA Media community grow. It doesn't take long for someone to be in their career as a security professional before they hear of the term honeypot. But for those that aren't security professionals, a honeypot is an isolated, publicly accessible network segment that is set up to entrap potential attackers. Its purpose is to act as an early warning system to the organization that set it up so that they know that an attack is coming or, and this can be more important depending on the organization, you can use it to see brand new zero-day exploits. Now, while the honeypot is a great way to be proactive in dealing with potential attackers, I very seldom see companies setting them up. And the thing is, they don't have to be expensive. In fact, you almost want it to look like a test dev environment so that it has holes that an external entity can take advantage of. Maybe too many companies have wholly exterior segments already, and adding one more just makes them feel bad. But simply put, all you want to do is have an external segment set up that cannot be used to tunnel back into the enterprise. Put in a couple of unpatched servers in that segment that are of the same base configuration that you have internally. Put this segment behind a firewall that allows external traffic in using things like HTTP, and you have your honeypot network segment all set. Oh, and one more thing. You want to monitor the bejesus out of it. Remember, this network segment is your early warning system, even more so than any of your DMZ zones. So put your SEM agents in place and lock down the logging capability. Put in place your antivirus capabilities, as well as your network intrusion detection system, and then Bob's your uncle. But a couple of things before you do all this. Remember, a zero-day attack is not going to trigger your antivirus solution simply because, by its nature, there won't be any signatures around that the AV can use. Also remember, an attacker that is coming for your environment is going to be looking for things like your network intrusion detection system simply because everyone has one. And your logs? Well, any attacker worth their salt will erase their presence in the logs before they leave. So what do? Well, for your logs, you have one very important advantage. You know that the honeypot isn't meant as a production system. So any change to the environment means that something has happened. Think of it like having a muddy floor that someone has to walk across. If someone goes across your muddy floor, then their footprints will show up. If there aren't any footprints, then you're pretty sure no one's been in there. Your NIDs? Well, I remember having a conversation with someone years ago about a really good way to implement a network intrusion detection system. The vast majority of ways to get into an environment initially involve trying to find the IP addresses that are in whatever network segment they're looking at. A NIDS will, even if passing traffic through it, have IP addresses associated with it. So, rather than using IP addresses, have just MAC addresses and then an out-of-band port that you can connect to for management. All of a sudden, the NIDs don't have any fingerprints on the network that someone can see. And antivirus or malware protection? Well, the AV should be there because it's expected to be there. But you want to take a hash of the operating system once you've put it into place. Then, check it regularly to see if the hash has changed. Since that honeypot is not supposed to change, any change in the hash will mean something has happened. Use your honeypot to show non-security people what is potentially happening in the real world. When their eyes open wide with realization, you know they'll understand. But sometimes the proof is only found in the pudding, or in this case, the honeypot. Well, that's it for this video. If you like this video, check out some of the other videos we have on the YouTube channel, including these two I've highlighted. Well, I'm Neil Rarup with EA Media, and I hope this helps.